Martin Amateur Athletic Association held track and field event. We should evaluate ourselves as individuals, says Prime Minister. But first, a call for civic responsibility was Governor Holliday's New Year address. And these are the headlines for Monday, January 12th, 2015. I'm Sharon Freiberg for AVS News, and now for the details. His Excellency, Governor Eugene Holliday and his wife Louise Holliday held their annual New Year's reception at the Captain Hodge Wharf in Phillipsburg. In attendance were government officials, dignitaries, and invited guests. In his address, the governor stated that the start of this year has special significance because it is the year in which we will celebrate the 5th anniversary of our autonomy as a country. And that celebration offers us a unique opportunity to re-examine the direction our country is heading in, to recommit ourselves to the goals and kind of country we aspire to be, and to rededicate ourselves to fulfilling our civic responsibilities to achieve it.
For us, the start of this year has special significance because it is the year in which we will celebrate the 5th anniversary of our autonomy as a country. That celebration offers us a unique opportunity to re-examine the direction our country is heading in, to recommit ourselves to the goals and kind of country we aspire to be, and to rededicate ourselves to fulfilling our civic responsibilities to achieve it. It is against that background that I shall share my thoughts with you on the importance of meeting our civic responsibilities. For if St. Martin is to continue to be the beacon of hope and opportunity that it is, each of us must recommit to our civic responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, stating that St. Martin is a beacon of hope and opportunity is not to say that we do not have challenges. In fact, when we reflect on developments of the past year, we know that the conditions required to keep our beacon lit were not always as they should be and could have been. Too much of our time was, as a result of the actions of a few, spent on debating integrity concerns rather than on taking actions to build public trust, on focusing on what is legal and not enough on what is right and good for our country, on domestic and inter-kingdom political conflict and interests rather than on solutions that addresses the needs of our people, on budgetary constraints rather than on prioritizing and maximizing available financial economic resources, on proving each other wrong rather than on working with each other to get things right, or on what is in it for me rather than on what is in it for St. Martin. These are all issues that have the potential to eat away at the social fabric of our country. It is thus imperative that such behavior and attitudes are addressed firmly and eliminated from our society. And although those issues dominated the headlines, we must look back on 2014 with the knowledge that they are not representative of the actions of the vast majority of us. For every day, the vast majority of our people, teachers, nurses, doctors, police officers, pilots, air traffic controllers, artists, environmentalists, firemen, mechanics, cooks, waiters, bus and taxi drivers, social workers, accountants, lawyers, judges, and many, many more rose to the call of their civic responsibilities and made significant positive contributions to our community.
Prime Minister Marcel Gums on Sunday welcomed Prime Minister of Curaçao, Ivar Ashes, to St. Martin for his official working visit at the Princess Juliana International Airport. Prime Minister Ashes' official working visit is from January 11th to the 13th, where he will be discussing issues of mutual interest. Prime Minister Ashes will also meet with President of Parliament Dr. Lloyd Richardson, as well as with His Excellency Governor Eugene Holiday. And up next, grievances of the timeshare owners will be addressed, says Tourism Minister. We'll have that story when we return. Spokesperson Inspector Ricardo Henson reported that an armed robbery took place on Sunday, January 11th at approximately 10 a.m. at Ultimate Jewelers on Front Street. According to information, a gray-colored vehicle with heavily tinted windows stopped in the middle of Front Street in front of the business. Now, two armed masked men dressed in dark clothing jumped out of the vehicle and entered the establishment. These men started smashing the showcases with hammers they were carrying and removed the jewelry. After committing this act, both suspects fled the scene in the direction of Emma Plain. An intense search to locate the suspects was done in the Phillipsburg and surrounding areas. The vehicle that was used by the two robbers was later found in the hills behind the vineyard. The vehicle, a gray-colored Kia Picanto with license plates 3467 AAB, has been confiscated for further investigation. The suspects were nowhere to be found and have not been arrested in this case. The police department is asking anyone in the community who may have any information regarding this robbery that could lead in the arrest of the suspects involved to contact the police department. And the general public was invited to attend the National Day of Prayer service on Sunday, January 11th, under the theme, We Look to You. The National Day of Prayer service was held in front of the Government Administration Building at the Clem LaBega Square. The service was collaboration between government and the St. Martin Christian Council, the St. Martin United Ministerial Foundation, and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. In his address, Prime Minister Marcel Gums stated we should evaluate our own performance as individuals.
We are in the month of January, the beginning of a new year. A year 2015, a very important year in our young history, where we will be analyzed and judged and evaluated in our status as country. And it is not only the elected officials and the government has to do that task. I think it is important for all of us, whether in a form of organization or the church or the business sector or the social partners or the labor unions, let us take time in this year and really evaluate our performance as organizations, as institutions, and much more so, let us evaluate our own performance as individuals. The best way, I think, to evaluate ourselves is if we listen to the song by Michael Jackson, Take a Look in the Mirror. I want to encourage all of us to buy a mirror if you don't have one, buy a portable one, and take a look in the mirror as often as possible. And when I say take a look in the mirror, not only to look at the haircut or the hairdo or the makeup, but through looking in the mirror, look in your eyes and look to your soul and look inside and find that thing that old people used to call your conscience box, your box with your conscience in it. Let us go deep into ourselves and find our conscience. Because in there, we should also find the love that we have to give to each other.
Meanwhile, Minister responsible for Education, Culture, Youth, and Sports, Rita Bourne-Gums, mentioned in her address the manner in which she was brought up as a child and stated that we as a community should again look out for our children of St. Martin.
Pastor Smith, I thank you to you for those words. Tonight, you remind us of where we must go and that we must again take control. I remember as a child, my mother never needed to provide me with a cell phone to know where I was at all times. She always said these words to me when she did allow me to attend a school function. When you think I'm at home, I'm at the gate watching you. That kept me in check every move as a child. And before I got home, the neighborhood looked out for me and reported to her, if any, rarely few, wrongdoings that I did. We as a community must again look out for our children of St. Martin. It has been a warm, wonderful, and engaging experience here tonight at this assembly. We are grateful to God for allowing us all to be here. We request His involvement in our lives and to inspire our daily decisions. We are also grateful for Him for keeping us safe from natural disasters.
The Electoral Council would like to remind all registered political parties, this also includes those parties that are registered with the Electoral Council but did not participate in the last parliamentary elections, that in accordance with the National Ordinance on Registration and Finances of Political Parties, that they are required to submit a chronological register of donations of all donations received in 2014, be it cash, check, or in kind, and that's due before February 1st, 2015. The council would also like to announce that the political parties are to complete their register of donations via an online database that the Electoral Council established for this purpose. Within short, each political party will receive an email message with instructions on how to access the database in order to be able to complete the registration digitally. And Minister of Tourism Claret Connor on Wednesday assured timeshare owners in general that their grievances and complaints of lack of protection have not fallen on deaf ears, and their continued contribution to the economy is very important to Destination St. Martin. The minister sympathized with disgruntled former caravanserai owners and used the opportunity to set in motion serious discussions about protecting the vital timeshare industry. He said, though, government knows and appreciates the industry and its players. Legislation must reflect protection measures for the industry. The impression that some of our timeshare owners have that government does not care is unfortunate. Government, on the other hand, must look at the industry as a priority area that needs addressing. We cannot think we will be able to sustain the industry if the stakeholders of the industry feel that their investments are not secure, the minister said. And let's take a look now at the weather forecast. A relatively strong Atlantic high-pressure ridge will maintain brisk winds across the region. Pockets of moisture embedded within that wind flow will cause occasional cloudy spells and passing showers. The brisk winds and easterly swells will keep sea conditions above normal through Tuesday. As a result, a small craft advisory remains in effect for St. Martin, and small craft operators and sea bathers should continue to exercise caution. And this is our 3-day forecast and the traffic situation outside the Yogish building. Next, Minister Josiane Fleming Artson met with representatives of the Curacao House. We'll have that story when we come back. Be sure to stay with us. Plenipotentiary Josiane Fleming Artson last week visited Curacao House, where she met with the Minister of Plenipotentiary Marveline Wheels. Minister Fleming Artson introduced herself as the new minister representing St. Martin after being sworn in on December 19, 2014. And prior to that, the minister served as deputy minister for a period of approximately 18 months. Minister Fleming Artson and Minister Wheels discussed areas of mutual interest and working closer together and supporting each other. In other news, besides devoting most of his time on extremely pressing matters such as the budget 2015, Prime Minister of St. Martin, the Honorable Marcel Gums, has still been scheduling time to meet with departments under the General Affairs Ministry for which he is responsible. The Prime Minister is taking his stability, civility, tranquility, prosperity message to the public servants as well, stressing that service is what they provide and it should be practiced with the utmost professionalism. He complimented them for their hard work and perseverance even under certain circumstances that may not be ideal. And still to come, St. Martin Amateur Athletic Association held track and field event. We'll be right back after these messages. The St. Martin Amateur Athletic Association held its first track and field event for 2015 on Sunday at the Emilio Wilson Estate. The next event is the Oyster Bay Resort 12th Annual Tennis Tournament, which will be held on January 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Raoul Illich Sports Complex Tennis Pavilion. And this has been the newscast for Monday, January 12, 2015. I'm Sharon Freiberg. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you back here again tomorrow.